Hey guys, welcome back to a brand new video. I'm RexFinance, and today I'm going to be talking about CleanSpark stock. Now, I know a lot of you out there are probably really excited to hear me say that because it's been such a long time since I've done a video on the company, and I'm kind of the poster child of CleanSpark on YouTube. But in today's video, I'm just going to be giving kind of a general business update on the company because I probably haven't done that since I was first covering the stock at $4 to $5 per share. And I think it's safe to say a lot has changed since then. But beyond that, I'm going to discuss why I've been absolutely loading up on this stock during the market correction and dip we're currently experiencing. And I'm also going to give some price targets / price predictions for the current 2021 calendar year. Last year, I predicted CleanSpark was going to hit $20 per share by the end of the year. And people thought I was crazy when I made that statement back when it was $6, $7 per share. And well, we hit the $20 per share. So hopefully the luck continues and I guess correctly again for the year 2021, but stay tuned for my price prediction at the end of the video. First, I'm going to give a brief explanation on the company. And again, I call it brief. I'm going to try and get through this quickly so we can get to the nitty gritty that all of you guys came to this video for. But I'm going to give this brief explanation for viewers that might be new to the stock or just unfamiliar with what CleanSpark does. So CleanSpark has two business segments. Their primary business segment focuses on hardware sales, software sales, and controls for the microgrid industry. When I first looked into this company, understanding what a microgrid is was very difficult for me. So if you're new to the stock, new to the industry, new to the company, I don't blame you if you're a little bit confused. But just to explain what a microgrid is, perhaps in layman's terms, just think the traditional power grid. So your power lines that are outside your house, but it's decentralized. So everybody operates their own power grid. And what this generally looks like is solar plus storage, meaning solar panels on a home or business plus a battery for storing that electricity or power. Obviously, if somebody owns their own power grid, they own the power they produce, which is why the battery is so beneficial to the microgrid user. Not only can these homes and businesses island away from the grid completely in some cases, but they can also supplement the traditional power grid by selling the power they've produced back to the traditional power grid as a revenue stream. Also, if a business or residential customer owns a microgrid, that means they don't have to pay a power bill ever again because, again, they own the power that they produce via the microgrid. But now you may be wondering, why do microgrids matter? Why do we need this technology in today's world? Well, it's pretty easy to see why we need this technology when we look at California, Texas, or even my home state of Nebraska, where they've had to shut down power to customers because of extreme cold. The extreme cold makes everybody crank their heat way up, which puts unneeded strain on the power grid, and the power grid just isn't strong enough or capable enough to be able to handle all of that pressure. In California, the great example is the wildfires we've seen. They've had to shut down power for many houses because of the wildfires and the extreme heat. And as we move forward in this world of increasing reliance on technology, the grid is just going to be taxed even more by you and me. It doesn't take much more insight than looking at the way electric vehicle sales have grown and are expected to grow as the years go by. Think of all the charging stations or the chargers that are going to need to hook up to the power grid and always be active. Again, the power grid doesn't have the capacity for that type of thing. So what does this look like? Well, in Nebraska, the people that have a microgrid on their home have their lights on while the rest of the neighborhood is pitch dark. The streets are dark and the houses are pitch dark because lights don't work. But if you own your own microgrid, you own your own power, which means you can island away from the traditional power grid and remain online, and you will have light, you will have heat, you will have air conditioning. I've already mentioned that it's typically solar panels plus a battery storage unit, but it's also important to note that microgrids can't achieve optimal results without software. And that's where I get into my very bullish thesis on CleanSpark, because CleanSpark specializes in the software that comes along with the microgrids. We're also seeing the microgrid industry grow at 28 to 30% compounded annually, and it's expected that that will continue until 2029 or further. There's been increasing demand by businesses and residences alike, but what I'm really excited about in a recent development with CleanSpark is their residential initiative, where they released a new product line and they've also acquired a new company that's expected to bring $20 million plus in revenue to CleanSpark over the next year to year and a half. And residential microgrids primarily bring in software-based revenue. And with software-based revenue, you get reoccurring revenue streams, which is what as an investor you want to look for, because reoccurring revenue streams are predictable and they compound. Some of you may have come to the obvious conclusion that CleanSpark is not the only player in this industry. There's no way with how the industry is growing. So what makes CleanSpark so special in my opinion? Well, it starts with the customers they have. They work directly with Walmart, who has ordered hardware from CleanSpark time and time again in increasing amounts. They've also worked with Mace Ridge, HEB, the US government with their US embassies in Africa and Beirut, and they've also worked with the US Marines on multiple occasions. If you want to get even more bullish on this company, they actually have a working vendor-supplier relationship with Tesla. It goes a little bit beyond just a vendor-supplier relationship, but that's really all the detail we've been given. CleanSpark's secondary business is a new one for them. They acquired a Bitcoin mining facility. Now, a lot of you guys out there might be wondering, why in the world would a microgrid company acquire a Bitcoin mining asset? The quick and easy answer to that is CleanSpark is aiming to demonstrate the lowest cost to mine a Bitcoin in the entire United States of America. And let me tell you something, if CleanSpark even comes close to demonstrating the cheapest cost of mining in the United States of America, all Bitcoin miners are going to come flooding after CleanSpark, asking for their microgrid solutions to lower their cost of mining and increase their margin. Through this, we would see hundreds, if not thousands, of additional microgrid proposals for CleanSpark. This kind of brings me to my next point here. Some of you may be concerned, what if Bitcoin crashes? CleanSpark is mining Bitcoin, but all of a sudden all this revenue will disappear for CleanSpark if Bitcoin crashes. Well, that's kind of the cool thing about this company if you're looking at it from that standpoint. Whether or not Bitcoin crashes or goes way up, CleanSpark is going to benefit, because if Bitcoin crashes, the margin on mining Bitcoin all of a sudden shrinks for every single company that mines the cryptocurrency. So what are they going to look to do? They're going to look to bring their costs down. And if CleanSpark demonstrates the lowest cost to mine, their legacy microgrid business is going to see increased demand like we've never seen before. On the other hand, if CleanSpark keeps shooting up, well, it's pretty obvious to see, but CleanSpark mines the Bitcoin, they sell some and save some, so they're bringing in revenue. So whether Bitcoin goes up or it comes crashing down, it's really a win-win for the company. If you're still not sold on what was supposed to be a brief explanation, I'll go a bit further. Why do I like them so much? It's really because of a multitude of things. But just to name a few, CleanSpark has doubled revenues each of the last 3 years, and they're going to well beyond double their revenue in the fiscal year 2021. This company is virtually debt-free, and again, the microgrid industry as a whole is set to grow at 28% compounded annually for the next 9 to 10 years. CleanSpark is top 10 in the list of companies with the ability to capitalize on this industry growth. The last reason I'll mention in this video of why I really like this company is because the management team primarily takes stock-based compensation. They want shares in this company because they know they're on the brink of something very, very special. The management team also does investor relations in-house, meaning you will speak directly with the executive chairman of the company if you have an investor inquiry. So that was what was supposed to be a brief explanation of the company. I hope it wasn't too long, but now I'm going to get into why I've been buying this stock so heavily lately. After all, I bought shares at $4.50, so why would I raise my cost basis so much by buying in the mid-20s? It's really a pretty easy answer for me. Take away the whole microgrid business segment that CleanSpark has and just look at their Bitcoin mining segment. In comparison to other Bitcoin mining companies, CleanSpark is drastically undervalued. To prove this point, let's look at a press release that Marathon Patent Group put out in February. Marathon Patent Group is one of the most highly traded Bitcoin mining companies in the entire stock market. According to the press release, CleanSpark was mining just as much and even more Bitcoins than Marathon was at that February date when Marathon put out that press release. Yet Marathon Patent Group is valued 5 times richer than CleanSpark, and that's not even mentioning CleanSpark's legacy microgrid business. So by buying CleanSpark, you're buying a company that's valued 5 times cheaper than Marathon, yet they produce the same amount of Bitcoins currently. That alone makes CleanSpark's valuation just look silly currently, but if you add in the microgrid business, it really looks silly. And I'm not the only one that sees this. Market makers, institutions, etc. have been adding to their positions in CleanSpark like there's no tomorrow. Just as an example of this, BlackRock has increased its position by 40% in CleanSpark. Another reason I really like the valuation of CleanSpark currently is because it was getting beat down before the market correction or dip even happened. The reason this was happening is because a faulty short report was put out. And following this short report, we've had what we like to call ambulance chasers just flooding the news flow of CleanSpark. So whenever somebody Googles CleanSpark because they're interested in investing in the company, they get a bunch of shareholder notices and alerts saying CleanSpark's going to be sued, they're in trouble, law firms are going after them. When in the end, these law firms can't even sign up a lead plaintiff for the case because nobody actually believes what the short report put out about the company. Still, the news flow has just been flooded with these ambulance chasers and law firms potentially scaring away lots of investors, even though the accusations are completely false. Because of this, we've had a new product launch, great quarterly earnings, and an acquisition that's going to add $20 million or more in revenue over the next year to year and a half, all swept under the rug over the past 2 weeks alone. Because CleanSpark's press releases aren't hitting the news flow and they're being flooded by these law firms and ambulance chasers. In a recent investor presentation, CleanSpark's management team has discussed expanding its Bitcoin mining to 1 to 2 exahash. Now, I don't know Bitcoin mining terms for the heck of it, but I do know 1 exahash is a lot and 2 would be double that. So this company continues to grow at a pace that only a handful of companies can keep up with. Yet their market cap, their valuation keeps getting hammered down. I honestly think within 2 or 3 years, we could be doing half of the current market cap in revenue with this company. The current valuation just does not make sense on multiple levels. Smart money knows it. I know it. Lots of CleanSpark investors, you guys out there know it, which is why you have been adding to your position. So instead of worrying about my $4.50 cost basis, I'm taking the opportunity to buy more shares of this company at an extreme discount. So what is my price target for this company for 2021? I personally think we will see $80 per share by the end of December. Now, in comparison to Marathon, the valuation that makes sense is about $100 per share. I'm not going to get greedy and say we're going to hit $100 per share. Although I think it could very possibly happen, I'm not going to get my hopes up and be disappointed. So $80 per share is my personal price target by the end of this year. If we see $100, $150 per share, I won't be surprised and I'll be very happy. But again, my price target is $80 per share. So with that, if you enjoyed this video, hit the like button down below. Also, if you are new here or returning and not yet subscribed, hit the subscribe button down below. And if you guys are interested in joining my paid monthly membership, which gets you access to my buy and sell alerts, the Discord server, etc., hit the join button located right next to the subscribe button. It doesn't work on iPad or iPhone. You'll have to get on a computer to do it. But with that, I hope you guys have a great rest of your day. I'll be back on Monday with a brand new video. Peace out.